Today on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we're going to be talking about Scott D'Amore's departure from TNA or termination from TNA. We're going to be talking about why he got terminated. We got a little couple of key answers of why, which is kind of stupid for what I found out, but we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about AEW this week, what happened with the Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page match. We're going to talk about the Darby Allin and Sting victory, title win, and what happened afterward. But we definitely going to be talking about the WrestleMania confusion that's been going on since Thursday. Nothing really got solved, so we think. Then nothing got really solved, because even though what happened in SmackDown, but we're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I'm your host, the Ultimate One from the Boogie Down Bronx, and we're going to jump on this right away and whatnot. First of all, we're going to be talking about what happened this week with Scott D'Amore and TNA Wrestling and what Anthem did. They caught everybody by surprise this week, and that is they terminated his contract. Now, we all know that Scott D'Amore has been back to TNA, I think, we believe was somewhere between 2019 and 2020. Now, he has changed the you could say the scene in TNA wrestling, or Impact Wrestling as it's been called lately. And if it wasn't for him, I believe Impact would have still been out there. And who knows, it may not even be an Impact, because the things that he has done to have Impact still to be seen, he's been doing his thing behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? The first thing he did that I remember when he first tried to make Impact a little much better product during the COVID was, number one, he decided that, you know what, let's work with AEW. Now, the numbers as far as viewership with TNA before they started with AEW was not that big. A lot of people were not watching AEW TNA, because where the channel they were. You know what I'm saying? Then to top it off, Anthem went and kicked out New Japan Pro Wrestling from the channel and whatnot to bring in TNA. That wasn't a good move. So Scott D'Amore decided, well, you know what? So we can make things right. How about if we try to work with AEW? AEW at that time was trying to work something out with New Japan. New Japan approached AEW by working with them. TNA then decided, oh, let's try to work with New Japan little by little. We still got AEW, but we're going to try to work little by little with New Japan so we could bring in their talent. Now, their talent that they brought in was not the A+, the A-lister, the Okadas, the, at that time, the Naitos. None of those guys were coming in. You had the Juice Robinson, you had the Phantasmo, you had, who else? Kushida, the guys, the B-team guys that were coming in gradually. Then they decided not to work with AEW anymore. After Kenny Omega held their world title in for almost a year, and then Christian ended up taking the belt from Kenny Omega, I believe it was 2021, and then Christian lost the belt. I forgot who he lost the belt to, and I think it was to Moose, if I'm correct. I don't remember that. But TNA still continued to do what they needed to do. Then after that, they brought in Ring of Honor wrestlers, because that was the time the Ring of Honor Ring of Honor was going away. They brought in Honor No More. That was a great storyline. That came out of Scott D'Amore and whatnot. Making Moose the world champion, Scott D'Amore. Josh Alexander, Scott D'Amore. Little by little, started bringing in the Jay Whites from New Japan. They brought in the Gorillas of Destiny. They brought in a lot of people, and toward the end, okay, as I think since Hard to Kill, they had Okada. They had Okada and TNA. Something that we did not ever thought that was going to happen. Having Okada and TNA. Scott D'Amore made that happen. Now, for what we heard after the announcement that he got terminated, the reason for his termination was because he was asking for more money to have a better product, bringing more talent, and to have a better product, TV production, all that. He at one point even told Anthem, I will buy the company from you. Anthem thought about it, but then they took it off the table. So Anthem felt like, oh, he's pushing us for more money. We're not trying to spend more money. Anthem's always been cheap, and I've been saying this since 2020. Okay, they're cheap. They don't want to pay their talent. That's why their talents always leave. That's what wrestlers come in and out of. Look at Trinity Fatu, who's now Naomi back. She's back in WWE. Their talent don't stay long, but that's because of Anthem. That has nothing to do with Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore's been TNA since 2003. You know what I'm saying? You know, he left, but he came back. You know what I'm saying? And he knows the wrestling business. He ran a woman division that was one of the best in the business. And now Anthem decided, no, we're going to let him go. Then the excuse that they had of letting him go was, oh, we're going to try to be more marketable. We're trying to put our brand first, you know, a brand with the TNA product. No, in no time during their whole, you know, what they send out, they just say they were going to bring better talent. They were going to have someone who's going to be running the wrestling part, the booking part. They brought some. Oh, we Anthony Cazone, whatever his name is, who's been with the company for 16 years, is going to be the one running it. Okay, he's been there for 16 years. Doesn't mean he could do what Scott D'Amore does. So, and I was upset. And I did say, I hope TNA does not prosper, because that's a bullshit ass move they did. The guys in a suit who don't know how the wrestling business is run go because they want to be cheap. Go and cut the man who's he has brought fans back. I mean, TNA wrestling or Impact Wrestling, they were averaging 70,000. They started getting the 100,000 view mark back. Yes, it's a small progress, but come on. They even changed the name back to TNA. But they chose not to do that. So now what's going to happen? We don't know. Let us know what you think about that. Scott D'Amore, is he going to end up at AEW? And he could be the one who could run the women's division there? Because AEW needs somebody to run that women's division, especially with Deonna Purrazzo in there. You got Mercedes coming in. You know, you got Tony Storm, the world champion. Scott D'Amore will be perfect for that. Or he goes to WWE, works behind production. Could do that. You know, it becomes something big. I mean, now that McMahon is no longer there, Scott D'Amore will be perfect. This man is responsible for allowing WWE to bring in one or two of his talent. Mickie James, when she was world champion, and he did it again with Jordynne Grace. How you let this guy go? There's no reason for it. So let's talk about AEW. AEW this week, we saw Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland battle for 30 minutes and whatnot. It was a great match. There was no winner, but Swerve Strickland told Hangman, give me 5 more minutes. Hangman said, no, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction to go another 5 minutes. You said you was going to get the job done. You did not get the job done. And he walked away. But Tony Schiavone then announced that Tony Khan has made a 3-way for the world title at Revolution. You're going to have Samoa Joe defend his belt against Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page. To me, honestly, I feel that is not a good move, because you're trying to let us not. I hope they don't give Swerve Strickland the belt that quick, because then you make it Samoa Joe a transitional champion. You know, you could give Joe another 2 more months. You could have Swerve Strickland win the belt he could win it at All Out and win it All In, actually, in London. Go do that. The biggest show in the world becomes the first black AEW world champion. But right now, I don't think it should happen right now. So that is something to watch. Also, we saw Takeshita beat Chris Jericho on his own move, which pretty much Chris Jericho, did the job for Takeshita, same way Takeshita did the job for Chris Jericho in Japan. But it's very interesting. So I don't know how long Chris Jericho is going to continue to wrestle, because that is 2 times he has lost. To first, it was Powerhouse Hobbs. He got Powerhouse beat the bricks out of him. He overmatched him. And this time, he loses a match on his own move. He gets beat by his own move. So that is interesting. Also, it's interesting that it got me wondering if this is probably going to be the main event for Revolution, and that is Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks. As you saw, Sting and Darby win the World Tag Team titles this week, and then get attacked by the EVPs, the Young Bucks, or Matthew and how you call him? Who was the other one? And Nicholas Jackson beat up on Sting and whatnot, and Darby Allin. They beat the bricks out of Darby Allin. They made him bleed. I see it in Revolution where, I see 2 things can happen. Number one, we could see Sting and Darby beat the Young Bucks and retire as an undefeated team and whatnot. And then you could have the Young Bucks then the following Wednesday strip Darby of the tag team when Darby tries to get a partner to be his tag team partner as the world champion. Or we could see the Young Bucks beat Sting and Darby takes a pin, and Sting retires and whatnot. And that's the way he'll lose it. But you could tell that Sting and Darby are going to be transitional champion. That's what's going to happen. As far as Ricky Starks, I can see Ricky Stark leaving AEW. I didn't like the fact that they were going to give the belts to Sting and Darby. They don't need the belt. But remember, you had the Young Bucks who beat. I think it was a 3-way. They became the number 1 contenders for those belts. So it's part of the storyline that they're going to get the belts. So. And I mean, and they now with the way they acting lately, yeah, they're being a-holes, yeah. I can see them getting a lot of heat for that. So we'll see about that. So let's talk about the main reason why I'm here today, and that is the Wrestlemania confusion. So I don't know what you people thought about this damn press conference that happened on Thursday, but pretty much left us more confused because The Rock, he had went to Pat McAfee's show earlier in the day and did a hashtag or Cody Crybabies, and pretty much that was just could tell you that he's doing the Hollywood heel again. But he turned heel on Thursday when he slapped Cody Rhodes in the press conference. But the funny thing is he showed the whole Ananoia family tree, the bloodline, and then afterwards did like a hug to Roman Reigns as they announced that they were gonna so they hugged each other. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And that's when Cody came out. Also, I think they made Seth look like a fool in this press conference because he came out and pretty much Roman Reigns just trashed him again. He called him. He said, "Yeah, get this bum out of the stage." He just called the World Heavyweight Champion from Raw a bum. Okay, he even went as far as told Cody, "Go challenge the second rate champion, that the losers bracket." And I mean, to me, it's like, what is WWE doing here? Like, you're trashing a guy's title belt who has put almost 10 months into it, and or 9 months into it to make it a legitimate championship, even though we all know that's a second-rate title. But you are making him look like a fool. This guy is wrestling with a bad back, bust a knee, and whatnot, and you have Roman Reigns and SDs call him a bum. I understand it's a part of the storyline, but come on, call the guy a bum, and then top it off. Now you had The Rock was pissed off. But again, The Rock started it off. He said his family is the real, true royal family of wrestling, which I do agree in a way because you saw that damn tree. Half of those guys that was in there, I seen them wrestle in my since I've been watching wrestling. I see all of them, including Jacob Fatu was in there, Nia Jax, Alpha and Sika, Peter Maivia, even Umaga, you know, Samu, all these Yokozuna, all those people, and I seen them all wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Snuka, you know what I'm saying? His daughter Tamina, all of them. That bloodline is ridiculous. But but they started it. I say that when he said he was a true royal family, and then Roman took another shot at Dusty Rhodes. So Cody had to do what he had to do, but then he got slapped. And then Seth looked like he wanted to help, and then whatnot, and they had to hold him back, like be careful. He had the brace on, whatever. And to me, it seems to me that it could be crazy the way this whole thing has started and whatnot. So, and at the end of the day, you saw SmackDown. You saw SmackDown where then you had Triple H announce that it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns instead of Roman Reigns versus The Rock. So the confusion continues. It's like, where does The Rock stand on this? Because the word is that he is working WrestleMania. If he's working WrestleMania, where are you going to put him? And now they're talking about next week he's coming in to talk to Triple H and with Roman Reigns, and the confusion still, still there with that part. Because now we know who Seth Rollins is going to be who he's going to be facing as the winner of the Elimination Chamber, which, that was the plan to begin with. And that was supposed to be won by CM Punk. But now you have already Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, who they feuded back in the COVID era and whatnot. And Randy Orton beat Drew McIntyre at one point for the world heavyweight title during the COVID era. So those two are already in there. LA Knight, I don't see him going to be there, and I'm going to tell you why, because AJ Styles wrestled Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight kind of cost AJ Styles his win, so it's going to be paybacks, so he's not going to be in there. I can see him go against Logan Paul for the United States belt, so that's probably going to be the plan there if they're still going with that. But it's still confusing especially with the main event for night 2. Is it going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody, or it's going to be Cody, Roman, and Rock on a triple threat match? I don't want to see that, to be honest. I'd rather see Cody beat Roman fair and square. That's it. Story done. That's it. But it's still out there. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But honestly, I feel that WWE is playing with people's emotion, which is at least you don't know what's going to happen. Now, we all could say right now, if it comes down to Cody, The Rock, and Roman in that match, can we see Cody pinning The Rock, winning the belt, and then Roman be like, "Well, you didn't pin me, so how are you the world champion?" Anything could go, anything could happen, But I don't see Cody pinning Roman straight up if it is a triple threat, But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen with that. It's very interesting and whatnot. So I decided to come in here and do the 3-story thing real quick and whatnot. So I want to thank all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report on the YouTube channel. Of course, hit that notification bell for new uploads. Hit that thumbs up. That will definitely help for new subscribers. For those subscribers that continue coming back for another episode, I thank you very much. And we're down to we have 315 subscribers. We're trying to get 400, so let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen. Share the share this video. Let me know what you think about the Scott D'Amore termination. Let me know what you think about the Darby Allin Sting match for Revolution, being that most likely that will be the main event and whatnot. And the WrestleMania confusion, all this WrestleMania stuff with the Rock, Roman, Cody, and all that stuff. So let me know what you think, guys. So also check out my my podcast store, tcwr.veryimpressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and check out the shirts, the hats, the sweaters, and whatnot. And also in the website, you could also check out my audio podcast by clicking on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo, and you get to see all the audio podcasts that I have, including the behind the curtain series that I have going. I didn't do one this week because I was sick, but I'll definitely do one for this week coming up. So go check that out. Also, you want to follow me on the audio on the social media platform, you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, the X, Twitter, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and show some love there and whatnot. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this video. So until then, guys, thank you very much for supporting the podcast, and I will definitely check you guys out and whatnot next week with more Chokeslam Wrestling Report podcast.